Hey guys, it's Callus, and welcome back to Callus Draft League Week 3. Following up on one of the drafts that I covered, it is Kingu on the alt Black-White Magic playing against Gang. Kingu is the captain of the purple team. Gang is a member of the blue team. As always, if you want to see how we got here, rather than going in the dark, I highly recommend checking out their draft, which I have, of course, linked in the description if you want to see the teams that both these guys are working with. As always in this tour, in this format anyway, it is a best of 3. So here is their first game. Black White Magic, like I said, is Kingu, and he is on the bottom. He's going to lead with a Tauros, get a potentially relevant Intimidate off on the T-Tower on the other side, and in comes Skarm. So I guess we've got OUTSS coming out for game 1. Fori is a weird choice with Tauros. Those aren't exactly same speed or the same kind of mons. They don't usually go together, but Fori is definitely good into Skarmory, so that could be a good start for Kingu. There's a rapid spin there, and regrettably for Kingu, Toxic misses, though of course it might be a Refresh Doll, or this Blissey that comes in might have Aromatherapy or what have you. This really is OUTSS, it seems, for Gang. And it's obviously going to be a powerful team no matter what his last two mons are, but I already wonder if maybe he's wasting too much of his good stuff, wasting too much gas in the opening game. And boy, oh boy, if he were to lose this game, how bad does that feel? Because Kingu certainly has busted out some of the lower end stuff, the Tauros and the Slowbro. Not bad mons by any means, but these are his round 3 mons, rather than the super high end stuff, the T-Tars, the Skarmbliss, what have you. Articuno makes an appearance. I'm a fan of that guy for sure. Gonna land Toxic on Ampharos, which is a Heal Bell user, for those of you who might not know. Doesn't go for it here, however. We do have Moltres in the house against the Doll. Claydol not comfortable staying in, and it's going to be another status effect attempt from Kingu that does not connect. This time it is Will-O-Wisp missing on the Blissey. In comes Fori to a Thunderbolt that was aimed at the Moltres, fair enough. And back to Ampharos just in case. And good thing, because it actually does have Flamethrower as well, which would have cooked the Fori with the 4x weakness, but Ampharos takes it like a champ. Going to take another one here and go for the Heal Bell. So Toxic is gone. Ampharos relatively healthy right now, but it is a sand game, so lefties might as well not be there. Focus Punch attempt coming, and it is going to connect through the T-Wave. 41% is nothing to scoff at, but Bliss should be able to soft-boiled here and just wait for a full para. And Kingu does not even push the issue, just immediately goes back to Tauros, Intimidate irrelevant on Bliss. Unfortunately, Tauros is going to have a consistently hard time in this game, I think, with the Skarmory on the other side. Does manage to paralyze it, but not a huge deal. And we do now have one layer of spikes each as Skarm sets another one. But Fori's going to probably quickly undo that. There you go. There is the spin. Spikes advantage back to Kingu by a count of 1-0. Tauros in on the Blissey now. Like I said, I don't think the Tauros is going to be all that good this game, and the T-Wave is going to make it even worse, though we know that he does have a Heal Bell partner in the Ampharos. Double Edge there, pretty underwhelming, just 21%. And back it goes to Moltres. Skarm is going to full power, doesn't get to reestablish a spike. Moltres has been consistently checked by Blissey here, and we haven't seen Roar or anything from it that would at all be able to capitalize on that. It's in range, I guess. Okay, it does have Roar. I was going to say it's in range of where a crit Fire Blast would kill it, but what are the odds of that? But it does, in fact, have Roar. That being said, a crucial soft-boiled got off before the Roar, but at least we know that he does have the option to roar out Blissey as it comes in, which, if there's spikes down, might slowly but surely be a way to win. But yeah, quite a contrast here. Gang busted out the A-team here. Tar Skarmbliss, whereas Kingu has been a lot more conservative and has a lot of his round 2, round 3 pokes here. A lot of his lesser stuff, saving the gas for later games. So Gang better win, because if he loses this matchup, given what's been burned by both players, he is in some big trouble, I think. We end up again with Fori on Doll. We saw that it had Toxic before. And man, Kingu has not trained his Pokemon to hit their status moves. Multiple Toxic misses, Will-O-Wisp misses. It's just not happening for him in the early goings of this game. That being said, it is still 6-6, so we'll see. But this Tauros really truly seems next to useless in my mind with the Skarmory there. And it's going to end up actually killing itself with the recoil, finished off by the sand, which happens before leftovers. So we do have ourselves the first knockout, basically self-inflicted, in what is now a 6-5 game favoring Gang. Rapid Spin gets off, Spike's advantage returns to Kingu, and finally a status move lands, but it is on a natural Cure Mon, so the world didn't end. Here comes Moltres. Coming in on Flamethrower is not a big deal. See how he wants to proceed here. We do know that the Blissey does have Thunderbolt. Gonna stick it out. Fair enough. Fire Blast, 23%. And it's going to be Thunder Wave instead, which again, with the Heal Bell user, isn't the biggest deal. But for now, annoying for the Moltres. Not something that it wants, obviously. And there is full power there, so we don't know what it wanted to do. But Doll sneaks in successfully and gets a Rapid Spin off to bring us back to a spikeless game. But hidden power there, grass, water, ice, whatever it may be, is super effective on the Doll. And Moltres full powers again, so Moltres going to be able to, Blissey going to be able to get a soft-boiled off here without issue. Ampharos comes in on that soft-boiled and is probably going to click Heal Bell here. The punishment is just a 14% Flamethrower, not a big deal at all. Ampharos can handle that. And the bell does indeed get off, removing multiple status issues that were there before. Venusaur switches into Flamethrower, takes about a third. We know that Blissey has T-Wave, so Kingu's got to be aware of that. And here comes Articuno coming into Sleep Powder. Fair enough. Leech Seed. Does it have Sleep Talk? Seemingly no. Leech Seed connects. Gonna give him a little sappy. Now Ampharos returns. Gets it in on Skarm, which is probably where he wants to be. He's going to get a free attack here. That free attack, unfortunately, though, whether it had been Thunderbolt or Focus Punch, is not going to do it against the Claydol. Does go for T-Bolt, which does literal actual 0, and out goes the Ampharos. Psychic there, even with a crit, is just 21% to Fori. Not exciting. It stays in. Nothing to fear. Gets a Spike off. And it's going to protect for even more lefties. So Fori's not quite at full health, but it's damn close as Blissey attempts a T-Wave. And here comes another T-Wave and another missed Toxic from Kingu's end. Not so hot with the accuracy on those status moves. Finally gets one now with an over-prediction T-Wave. Could have gone for Flamethrower there. And of course gets out of the way now, not wanting to eat a Flamethrower, but it's actually a third T-Wave in a row for Gang. And he does hit a target that matters this time in the Moltres. So here comes Doll again. But so is Venusaur. And got to be careful because obviously it could have a grass attack, which he does play around the possibility of. Ironically, had he stayed in and Rapid Spun, he would have removed the Spikes and the Leech Seed. But I could see why you wouldn't want to stay in there, obviously. And the Skarm is actually about to drop here. That's going to change the dynamic of the game significantly once a Rapid Spin gets off, if a Rapid Spin gets off for Kingu. And the Claydol going down is relevant as well. This game is changing drastically quickly. I thought Gang was winning, but not so sure about that anymore. Gang has lost the ability to spin away spikes or to reestablish his own spikes, so really Kingu just has to find the right opportunity to get his Fori in, click Rapid Spin, and all of a sudden this game is a little different. Heal Bell at the cost of the Ampharos' life here, unfortunately. Surf would have done it as well, but obviously EQ going to be more than enough. But this invokes a golden opportunity for the Fori, unless there's a random HP fire on the other side, which I'm never playing around. Your Rapid Spin there, and he is going to be spike free for the remainder of this game. T-Wave there is ballsy. And I don't know if I love the Toxic there. I think I would rather just go for a Spike. 3 of the 4 remaining living Pokemon for Gang are vulnerable to it, so for me the Spike is more valuable. But Toxic and then Spike. Here comes Articuno, And Foray very well may have gone for the third lair there, but full power is going to prevent it. Blissey comes back in, and he doesn't go for the third lair there, which I think I would have. So an interesting sequence. I think he might have missed the opportunity to get a spike in. He brings Foray into something that he knows has flamethrower, so he very well may switch back out. No, he's going to eat it. I don't know what he was going for there. I guess probably just spike, but full power is going to prevent it yet again. Gets greedy on the protect. Full power would have been the death of the Foray there, but doesn't happen. Gets a little bit of lefties back, and out of the way it goes. Venusaur switches into an obvious flamethrower, 30%. Leech Seed, of course, would be very obnoxious, mooching off the high health of Bliss. But yeah, with the Ampharos down, might as well spread that status now that it can't be belled away. So Venusaur is going to be T-waved, presumably, for the rest of the game. Slowbro comes into Articuno, fair enough. Haven't seen a lot of the bro, don't know exactly what it wants to do. 25% surf there, may or may not kill the Articuno with another one based on the roll. And it does, but even if it had come up just a little bit short, the sand would have finished the job. So the lead back to Kingu on the bottom. T-Wave there for bro. Ice Beam, yeah, 11% is probably not where you want to be. Venusaur yet again. And Gang plays it safe, goes for soft boiled there. Flamethrower, been doing 30%-ish. 30 to 33 is about the range that we've seen. Full power kicks in, another flamethrower. And Sleep Powder does connect, which that easily, between the accuracy and the paralysis possibility, could have not connected. But the fact that it did is going to keep Kingu in this game. I mean, he's winning on paper, but the Blissey really seems like an issue for him, like something that he both has a hard time killing and has a hard time switching into. Certainly Leech Seed helps, so that will avert the Blissey crisis, at least for now. Here comes Moltres, and Blissey continues to nap. But yeah, Moltres doesn't really kill Blissey under normal circumstances. Wakey soft-boiled, fair enough. Forey's going to get a pretty nice health boost from the Leech Seed there, back up to 74%. Swampert comes in, and he still fails to go for that third layer of spikes, but in theory it's coming. Right now, maybe, finally, yeah, third layer. So a 3-0 spikes advantage. Flamethrower there, a ton, and Toxic, sure. Lack of something better to do. Seeing the full set here, so doesn't have any proper attacks, can't boom, just kind of resigned to playing the Toxic Protect game. Like I said, I think that Kingu is going to have a hard time actually killing the Blissey. The 3 spikes are good, and now everything that's alive is vulnerable to them. So I'm supposed to feel, I think, like Kingu is winning this game. He's up 4-3 on Mons. It's 3 spikes to 0. Kingu's winning, right? But I don't actually know that he is. The Blissey seems very difficult for him to remove. We haven't seen the T-Tower in forever, but here it is. And he's going to Dragon Dance up into a paralyzed Pokemon. This could get dicey, but it is a paralyzed, bulky Pokemon. And missing Rock Slide, I don't know if that was a blessing or a curse, but counter gets shown. He's going to Rock Slide again into something that he knows has counter, because of course the crit, the para, or the flinch, all very real and very relevant possibilities there. Slowbro does not click counter that turn, goes for Surf, turns out to be just as well. Does kill the tower, but the bro goes down as well to the sand. And we've got ourselves a 2-on-3 situation. Venusaur going to full para there. And Flamethrower comes down. Leech Seed does connect through imperfect accuracy and through the paralysis. Going to be obnoxious for Bliss. Here comes Swampert now. Not sure if he went for a grass attack there or not, but Swampert dodges the bullet as full para happens. He says in the battle chat that he clicked Giga Drain. Who knows if he did or not, but he says that he did. We may cross turn 100 here. We have not had very many of those in this format. Generally not the stalliest, grindiest format, but here we are. 3-figure turn count, baby. We haven't had a lot of that. Unfortunately, that is a bad turn for Kingu. That is a crit flamethrower and a leech seed miss. And that might be just enough to turn the tide here. Moltres can't beat Blissey, and the Fori we know hates the flamethrower, so how do you get out of this game now if you're Kingu? He's going to roar out the Swampert as step one, fair enough, but doesn't ultimately solve the Blissey issue. And here it comes again. Not clear what he went for there. Roar would have been probably the best case scenario, but full para kicks in. T-Bolt, 38%. It is Roar again. Sure, there's Swampert. If it has Surf, which we don't know, but should just click that here, and that is in fact the case. And now it is only Fortress, which absolutely cannot win in this situation. His prerogative to protect a time or two, but we know that the Blissey on the other side is Flamethrower. There's no way out of this game. Surf kills him, but it really wouldn't have mattered if he hung on at 1%. The Blissey coming in, finishing it off with Flamethrower is absolutely inevitable. And it is going to be a longer Game 1, but nevertheless a Game 1 victory for Gang. So Kingu is going to have to rattle off 2 in a row to get the victory. And tragically, something really weird happened. In Game 2, unfortunately, Gang loaded up the wrong team and had to be awarded a game loss penalty. That was crappy. He handled it like a champ, didn't give me attitude, he understood. That was cool. I appreciate that. I didn't feel good giving him the game loss, but that's kind of the rules of the tournament. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're just going to go straight to Game 3. Unfortunately, we have a 1-1 count, even though it should be 1-0 Gang here. He made a mistake and loaded the wrong team, forfeited Game 2 immediately upon doing so, and we're now going to go to Game 3, which, like I said, I feel bad, and I'm sure Gang is going to feel bad with his mistake should he go on to not win this match, but those are the tournament rules, and we got to follow them. So, awkward, not what I was planning on broadcasting on YouTube, but that's just the way it happened. So here we are, air quotes, Game 3, winner take all, with Kingu still as Black-White Magic on the bottom and Gang on the top. One game for all the marbles, here we go. My low-tick lead for Kingu, like I said, that's Black-White Magic, and Gang is on the top with a Slow King. Both Mons going to stay in and exchange status moves, T-Wave and Toxic respectively, and then the Slow King, despite the fact that it just got hit with Toxic, is going to click a setup move anyway. In this case, it is Calm Mind, and there you go. That's why, because he could just rest away the Toxic, and he does. But Alakazam is going to come in, probably trying to come into a T-Wave and synchronize it back, but instead it comes into an Earthquake, and it takes a whopping 62%, even though Registeel is not much of a physical attacker, because Alakazam's defense is that damn bad, and down it goes without doing a damn thing. It didn't get even one move off as it dies to Thunderbolt. So now we have Reggie on Reggie Violence. They're supposed to be brothers. Hypno comes in, and now Gardevoir comes in, and Regirock comes in. So all three Reggies making a cameo in this game. Psychic and Wave, that's going to get synchronized back. He's opting for Synchronize over Trace, both totally viable depending on what you need. Full Power, however, is going to kick in for Guard. Lot of switching. Slow King is going to apparently be the Psychic resist of the team. And Regice can probably handle it as well. Scouts for the T-Bolt, good for him. And he is correct. Ice Beam pretty good. Will-O-Wisp is going to connect there through the power and the imperfect accuracy. A little bit unlucky for Gang. And Milo returns. It is just Ice Beam rather than a prediction and a T-Bolt there. So Milo can handle that. It may or may not have Refresh to get rid of that power. If it does have it, not comfortable going for it there because T-Bolt was a possibility from the Regice. And it's going to come in to a T-Bolt from the Gardevoir for 17%. Falls to about half health. Just kidding. There's Rest. Good as new. Though there is a Psychic there to dent it a little bit. Here comes Arrow. That'll dent it more than a little bit, should he allow that to happen. So he's going to go to Regirock, which is not actually a rock resist, but I guess it's going to be his rock resist for purposes of this game. And it does full power there, so we don't know what it wanted to do. Hypno comes in, forces it out, and in comes Slowking. There are a couple psychic attackers, seemingly, for Kingu, but Gang does have the tools, it seems, to handle that. There's Gengar firing off a T-Bolt, and Slowking is going to kill a Sleep Turn, lefties back up into the green, and then run away, fearing another possible T-Bolt. Regice will probably also kill a Sleep Turn here. And now with that full power, it'll probably stay in and kill another, which it does. Wakey Wakey Ice Beam, and another full power, so that Gardevoir is probably in trouble. Yep, not even going to try to nurse it up. Probably wise, especially with that spike down, and we know that he doesn't have a way to spin it away, so Gardevoir bites it, and we've got ourselves a 5-5 with an unrevealed in the back still for Gang. Surf and Rock Slide. This is a weird set of Registeel. Earthquake Rock Slide going aggro with the Registeel. Surf there from Cloyster going to connect with Gar. Interesting that he did not opt in that situation to go for a second layer of spikes, which is what I thought that he would have done, given the fact that 3 of the 5 living Pokemon for Kingu are vulnerable to it. Well, make that 2 of the 4 because Milo is down. Aerodactyl comes in, and that's probably not the last poke that Gang's hoping for with the arrow on the other side. So he has rolled up to this game with 3 rock weaknesses and 0 rock resists. That arrow could absolutely be a huge problem as the game goes forward. But for now, we end up with Reggie on Reggie. We know that Registeel has Earthquake, and in fact, goes for it here. Bounces off Cloyster with that high defense stat, but again opts for Surf rather than laying down another spike. Certainly that would be better if the arrow were to try to switch in, but he might be trying to hit the Gar as well. Really surprised that he's not spiking. I feel like he's not really valuing it, but he's just surfing over and over and over again. And there's the 4th one in a row. Finally, a T-Wave does get off, so the Cloyster is paralyzed for what that's worth. But there you go. Crit Surf through the para. Registeel is no more, and we've got ourselves a 5-3 advantage for Gang. Gar, see what I did there? Probably can't break through Regice. Fire Punch helps a little, but even then, even with the super effective attack, even with that super high base special attack stat, really doesn't do enough. 22% in a sandless game. That's like a 6-hit KO. That just doesn't feel like enough. Regice is that damn good and that damn tanky as a wall. He's just going to sit in here. He's going to stare at the Gar and point and laugh. He does not care about the Fire Punch on the other side. And he's doing pretty hefty damage back. That Ice Beam did 53, as did that one for the KO. This game is a textbook display of why Regice is so damn good. For sure a top 10 Mon in this format. Here comes Hypno. That takes the Surf well. It is a special wall, as we know. Regice, Psychic bounce off. And, of course, the Psychic can never lower the special defense thanks to good old Clear Body. Pretty cool ability. Psychic lands. And Ice Beam not fucking around, 31%. Psychic just 15%. Regice easily winning this 1v1. Here comes Arrow trying to not come into Ice Beam, but it comes into Ice Beam. And on the spot, it is a concession for Kingu. Obviously was trying to sneak the arrow in on a rest, which, fine and well, I understand why you would do that. But he picks the wrong time, Ice Beam comes down, and the match is more or less over on the spot when that happens. So Gang can breathe a sigh of relief. Probably feels bad loading up the wrong team and getting the game lost. Obviously, not something he would do on purpose, but he manages to salvage it and win anyway by a count, technically, for purposes of the spreadsheet, 2-1, but basically a 2-0 since they only actually played 2 games. But the game count doesn't really matter in this format. You either win or you lose. It is a Gang victory, so he'll put up a point for the blue team and a valiant effort for purple captain Kingu but he doesn't get it done today. And I don't remember if I predicted this outcome or not. Been narrating too much lately. Don't remember in the draft what I said or who I thought would win, but hopefully I was right. As always, I would like to hear your thoughts, opinions, feelings, viewpoints, favorite song, political opinions, maybe not that one, whatever you want to say in the comments. Always like hearing from you guys. Appreciate you watching. Please do leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the Callous Narrates YouTube channel if you've not already done so. Thanks, guys. I will see you in the next video.